Hey guys, thank you for tuning in for another weekly portfolio update. So today it's Saturday, May 10th, evening 8:31, and let me show you where the portfolio is at right now. Dun 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 dun, drum roll. So we are up to 290,000, close to $291,000, which is about a $10,000 increase since the last update, and I just want to show you why. So for this video, what I'm going to go through is kind of number one is the market conditions, because right now, actually, as I'm doing this video, the market is in a very pivotal stage right now, and it's going to make some, crazy repercussions depending what you do with your portfolio at this time. So I'm going to cover that first. Then I'm also going to cover some recent sales that I made, just to show you how I'm kind of altering my portfolio given the market conditions right now. I'm going to also show you some cover call sales that I did recently. As you guys know, in the last couple of videos, I've been posting a lot about cover calls. First of all, how to do them. Also, how the cover calls that I'm doing right now, and I just want to show you how much money I'm making on that. And lastly, I'm just going to show you some account changes I'm making because I'm looking to always make my account more streamlined and efficient. So I'll show you a couple of things that I'm doing with my account. So starting first, market conditions. As you know, since January of this year, this market has been going down and down and down, and people has been telling you to buy the dip, but for some reason, whenever you buy the dip, there's a new dip, and it really doesn't end. Well, right now, things are really changing. If you're following the news, the market is looking a lot more optimistic and certain than it was about a month ago. So about a month ago, we had Liberation Day. Trump came out and said that he's going to tariff basically every country. And then he started to go at it with China, which potentially became the pre-stages of a global trade war between China and Trump. And that was when the market was at its worst. Okay. So if you remember during those times that, if you're holding a lot of investments, that whenever you get a chance to always double dollar cost average down your investments, right? If you have high average cost for your stocks, to just average down. And also that's the reason why I introduced cover calls for times like these, times of volatility where you know which stocks that you want to hold in the long term, but you can make some passive income on the side. So now things are going to change. What we have here in the last week or two is the market going up. And this is because of the updates from Trump that things are looking good with the negotiations with other countries with tariffs. Just this week, there has been actually concrete trade agreements that have been made between the UK and the US, which is looking more favorable for the US in comparison than to before. Also, there's word that China is now talking to the US, and they're also in the middle of working out a deal. And Trump has been saying that there's many more trade deals to come. So that is what's going on the news front. We had earnings recently, and a lot of the big tech companies had good earnings showing a strong economy. So those are all positives. Now, if we look at the technicals, what's also happening right now is this week is a big one. We had 2 weeks of consecutive, days and days of green. And now what's happening is that the S&P, the market, has now climbed its way back up to the 200-day average line. So at this point, it's basically coming to like a road, and there's two paths. Okay, we've been on the same road, which has been down and now up. And now the road is now going to separate and go out down two different paths. So one path is going to continue rising, and then once we pass the 200 EMA, we're actually looking at a bull market for the first time since January. But if we go down the other path, which is the price is going to hit the 200-day EMA and go back down, then we're to go down for a longer period of time, and there's no bullish market in sight. We're back to bearish territory. So this is a very important stage. So in this stage, I really want you to watch this video to understand what I'll be doing so that you have some ideas for what you should do in preparation for this stage. So, firstly, without further ado, let's get started. So, first thing what I'm doing is that I'm just selling some positions, okay? Because regardless, you know, right now, no one can say for certain that this market is going to go up, right? This is the highest chance we've seen in the last little bit. But I'm always going to prepare for a worst case scenario. Those of you who have followed my series, you know that I'm a very conservative investor, even though that I do buy stocks, which are considered risky, and I do play with options, which is even riskier. But actually, at heart, I am conservative. So even though there's a good chance, in comparison to before, of the market going up in the next week or so, I'm actually piling cash. So what I did is, if you look at my account, the first thing that I sold was my Ethereum position. So if you recall, you can watch my last few portfolio updates. I had a sizable amount in Ethereum in my crypto account, probably around $2,700, something like that. And because Ethereum was up 23% this Friday, I was back in the green again, and I was up 5%. So I decided to sell that. It wasn't a lot of profit, like $160, something like that. But that doesn't matter because I'm not doing this because I'm cashing out on Ethereum, because I'm trying to just make big money on Ethereum right now. The bigger reason is because Ethereum is not one of my major positions. It's not one of my top positions, and I'm selling that so that I have some cash on the side. Secondly, it also has to do with just the changes to my account that I'm making. I actually do want to get rid of my crypto account because the fees that I had to pay to sell my crypto was crazy. It was like close to $30. Whereas using Wealthsimple, this app, most of the other transactions that I do are free, right? I have an Ethereum ETF as well, which basically tracks the price of Ethereum just as well as the crypto does. But this one I can buy and sell for free. So I just thought that, I wanted to sell the crypto while I'm up a little bit to, pile up some cash, but also get rid of my crypto account and just have whatever left in my Ethereum position just with the ETF. Secondly, I also sold Visa, and for the very same reason why I sold Ethereum is just to clear up some cash. So if you can see here, earlier this week, where is it? So May 2nd, actually, is my bad. So not this week, but last week, I sold out my whole Visa position. I made about $21, but that's fine because I actually sold Visa all the way back a couple months ago, and I was up about 30% on Visa, and I made about $651 on that. So that was more profit taking. This time it's more just to pile up cash. So now that I piled up some cash, just want to show you how much cash I have. I have about 5,000 Canadian dollars in my non-registered accounts. Looking at my margin account, I believe I have some more. Yeah, I believe I have some more in my margin account, but right now it just doesn't really show up here. And this is just for me to, in case that the market does go down, that in the worst case scenario, I do have cash reserves to buy more stock. Secondly, let's look at the cover calls that I've been doing recently. So I actually have been logging the cover calls that I've been doing. So I wanted to quickly show you that. So it's also my trading journal, and I have it right here. So since about end of March, I've just been doing cover calls, and this is how this works. The premium is basically how much I made, or the price the money that I received for offering the option. Okay. And the total gain is basically the premium plus if there was some additional gain that I got from the growth of the stock, then I add that in as well. So basically, this is how much I've made in this column, profits from cover calls. So if I did a quick calculation on that, it's about $2,500. This is actually not including these three numbers. So if I add those three, so that looks about 600 to me. So I'm probably up maybe around, this is just an estimate, $3,200 since about late March, just doing cover calls, selling cover calls. So, which is why I'm such a big fan of it. Okay. And as you guys know, I haven't been using all of my shares of deal. I've just been using selected shares to build contracts to sell for cover calls. So it's actually not that much. So once I kind of, I'm looking to change my account so I can sell more cover calls. But once I do that, the amount of money that I can make from cover calls is going to be a lot greater. So going back to my Wealthsimple, I just want to show you some recent cover calls that I've been doing. The first one is I sold some June 6 SoFi 1450 calls. So I have about 4 contracts of that. And it's not a lot because this is actually this is the position of SoFi in my non-registered account before. And I was actually at a relatively higher average. So I believe my average for that one is about 1405. And recently, SoFi has been around the 12 to 13 range. So not the best average. That's why I don't have the best premiums for this one. But it's fine. For me, SoFi is one of my smaller, large holdings. This is something that I'm very bullish about. So because I'm holding it long term, I'm just earning cash on the side, even if it's a little bit less than I want it to be. I have another SoFi position in my RSP. This one I bought recently to do cover calls when SoFi was at about, 1241. So I bought it at 1241, 100 shares. And how much was the premium for that one? Let's have a look. Um, Yeah, I believe this one. So I bought 100 shares, only one contract, which I got for $75. One contract for $75 versus the other SoFi contract that I bought for that was only $161. So you can see that for one contract for this one, I made a lot more premium on that. Also, SoFi is up as well. So right now, I made that premium for selling this cover call, but also if you look over here, I'm making an additional $73 on SoFi because it's also up as well. So that is another position that I have. The other one that I did was AMD. So AMD, my current average cost in AMD is about 108 to 109. Okay, which is relatively high because AMD is currently at about 101, 102 right now, which is higher than it was last couple of weeks, it was basically flirting with the 80s and 90s. Okay, so what happened early this week on May 7th is when AMD had its earnings, the price spiked. AMD had a really good earnings, price spiked, and when it spiked to about 102, 103 before it went back down. Actually, let me just show you all this happening. Actually, so. As you can see, so I had the AMD shares even back in April, but when it was around like $93, $80, I wasn't really interested in selling cover calls. But recently, we can see this huge spike from here, $97 on May 7th, to here, $104. So when it hit about $103, that's when I sold one contract of cover calls. And as you can see, that was a really good play because as soon as I got the highest premium possible for the price being at 103, it shot down to 102, shot down to 101, and you couldn't have gotten the same premium when the price was at that point. So I managed to, with just one contract, earn a good $244 selling some more AMD, and it only expires May 30th, so I'm not holding it that long, just until the end of this month. So these are some great plays for cover calls. If you're interested in getting some like live coverage of my cover calls, be sure to join my Discord. That's where I post all of these cover call plays that I make. So as you can see, the SoFi, the AMD, they were all updated here, as well as the NVIDIA from before. So yeah, that's to give it to you live, just because I'm not able to make an account, make a video on YouTube every single day. All right, next thing I wanted to share is the TFSA. Okay, so my TFSA is built just for monthly passive income, and it's up a considerable amount, as you can see. I mean, it's down overall since Trump has come in power and started running from the White House. But actually, this month we're up about $8,000, and it's only May 10th. Okay, so I'm back. I'm kind of like yoing back up, and I'm at about 119,000. Not at its highest point, because I don't know if you remember, but when I had videos all the way back then, I was at my highest point was about 124,000, 125. So being at 119,000, which is about 6,000 off from my all-time highs in my TFSA, I'm okay with that, given how crazy the market has been this year. So I just want to share from my dividends last month in April. I'm now making $1,847, so close to $2,000 a month from my TFSA. And this just snowballs every single month, because every time I get, let's say, $1,800 of dividends, I buy more shares. So with more shares, the next month when I collect dividends, I have more shares, and therefore my monthly payout, my monthly payment is bigger. So as you can see, I've spent a little bit of money. I spent $500 on Friday buying some more Amazon ETF in my TFSA. But I still have another $1,100 that I can allocate to buy some more stocks. I haven't decided if it's going to be Ethereum, NVIDIA, or one of the market indexes like S&P or QQQ yet, but that's probably the four that I'm looking to put the money in. I'm not looking to put in Tesla because I'm pretty close to breaking even on Tesla. I'm at average price of 19.20, and right now Tesla's trading at 18.85. I could actually sell right now because I'm only down $126, and I've already made 2 months of dividends with Tesla here. But actually, I'm very bullish on Tesla, and it's currently my biggest position, so I'm not looking to do that. All right, so next, like I said, I'm looking to just show you also what I'm trying to do to streamline my account. So if you remember what I've been doing recently, I said that it would be good to have a non-registered account, which was just a regular non-registered account. And it would be good to move some of this into a registered account, or an account that allows the sale of cover calls. So that's why I got this margin account. So early this week, I started pouring my whole non-registered account into the margin account, because in this account I can sell cover calls. In the past, I had SoFi in this non-registered, but because the non-registered doesn't allow you to sell cover calls, I wasn't able to make some passive income on the side. Now that I moved it to the margin account, I can actually take my SoFi stocks and sell cover calls on it, which is great. But the problem is, I just found that the margin account to be really messy. Just like earlier, how I couldn't find how much cash is in here. I just didn't like that. So actually what I'm now doing is, I realized that I needed to keep my original non-registered account. Okay, because it wasn't useless, because earlier I transferred everything out and put in a margin account to sell cover calls. But actually, when I look at my holdings, there were some holdings that just I couldn't sell cover calls anyways. Like I have a lot of these Canadian stocks, so they can't sell cover calls. So I thought maybe it'd be better and more clean if I put all my Canadian stocks into this regular non-register account, and I'll put all my US stocks into my margin account, because it's only the US ones that can sell cover calls. So that's why you see that in my current non-registered margin account, everything that I have here is in USD. But when I go into my non-registered account, everything I have here is in Canadian. All right, so before I'm going to end this video, I just want to show you my biggest position. Tesla is my biggest position, and this is the stock that I'm going to be watching next week. Okay, so just to kind of quickly review what Tesla has been doing. Tesla was in the dumps maybe at the beginning of last month or so. So what we saw was the highs of 480, back in December to the lows of about 230. I think it went even lower than that. I think I remember it going to about 220. Let's see if there's a chart that I can see that 227. Let's see this one. 227, 220, 221. Yeah, 220 was what I remember, and that was probably the one. So 222 here and 221. Now it's going back up. And just like I said with the S&P at a crossroads, Tesla is the same. So what the charts are showing me right now is that next week is going to be big. On Friday, and which already passed, and the upcoming Monday, okay, the 200-day EMA price for Tesla is 292. All right. So I'm watching since Friday whether Tesla will drop below the 200-day moving average of 292. If it does, then it's going back down. But if it goes up, if it maintains a price above 292, this Tesla is going up to 320, 330. That's the next move up. So that's what I'm seeing happen. And for those of you guys who don't know, my average on Tesla right now is right around there. Okay. So with this Tesla Canadian one that I have a big position, massive position. Look at that. $27,000 of a position I have in Tesla, and it has an average of 2869, which I've already calculated out to be about 310. Yeah, 310, somewhere between 306 and 315. Okay, at 315, there's almost no way it's higher than that. So if it moves up to 320 to 330, I'll be back in the green. But am I going to sell then? Probably not. My plan right now is to sell at least 380 before I start considering to sell a small positions of it. I'm looking to sell Tesla in the 400s as like an average, and maybe even the 500s as well, because this is my greatest position since last November when I made $7,000-8,000 of profit on Tesla. I've now positioned myself with Tesla to make another big return on Tesla. Tesla just has been good to me. It's the stock that's been the best to me. So I'm not gonna hold this. This is kind of like my gold mine. And I've done a lot of good work, and I've made a great average in a great position right now, but the work is not done. I'm looking to find the right price to sell, because that's how I'm going to make money. All right. So that's all I want to share with you guys for this video. Hope you guys got a good idea about what I'm doing, where the market is at, and hopefully that will inform you on what you want to do in this market. But yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.